Shalom Akim, all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, salutation to you, Akim, doing the work in truth and sincerity. I want to play the first part of this video from Russia Today with Rick Sanchez. Hey, man. Hey, we are in exciting times, man. We pretty much at the end of this. And there's a couple other things that I wanted to say and talk about. However, I mean, this is going to be a short video. It's just, I wanted to, I'm watching, the news as we Israelites do, and report on it, So, without further ado, I'm going to play a clip from the part of this video, and I'm going to get out a couple of scriptures.
It's Monday. We're raring to go from the world headquarters of RT America, our nation's capital. Hello again, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez. Let me first take you through a global wipe fest. Wipe is the TV term, by the way, for one video effectively pushing out the other video. Here we go. Wipe one. Haiti. 42 people have been killed protesting government corruption there. Let's go to wipe two, Hong Kong. More violent protests over the weekend seem to directly tie the demonstrators to the United States, so says Beijing. And wipe three, Iraq. Protesters are now trying to infiltrate the infamous green zone where they are being met with actual live gunfire. We're going to break down the rage in all three of those places for you, but we're going to begin with what could become the biggest problem that's facing America today. And it's barely being talked about, but it really is. All signs now point to a recession or worse being around the corner. And how do we know that? The Fed's actions, that's how. It is literally cutting interest rates, 3 times now? Even hinting of another round of QE, quantitative easing. You don't do stuff like that unless you're really worried, right? Economists agree that they're worried. And if they're not worried, they should be worried, right? So what will likely trigger the recession? Experts say it's going to be this trade war with China. No doubt about it. But wait, didn't China bail us out the last time there was a recession? Huh? The last time there was, what was it? The meltdown it was called, right? Last time there was a recession in the United States. Who bailed us out? Most people don't know. China. Yeah, the answer is yes, China. China rescued the United States economy during the meltdown by buying our treasury bonds, essentially buying our debt, right? So it wouldn't be there anymore and we can get more, which is what they did. Now, think about that. Think about what China did last time as you hear China expert Surya Gupta talk about the U.S. verbally lambasting China last week.
Because once the recession comes, you will have to go back to China to ask them to have fiscal stimulus for the global economy. And China did it in a big way in 2007, 2008, but also learned some negative lessons, and it's not going to do it the second time.
Did you hear what he just said there? He said, quote, he's not going to do it a second time. He even did this little thing with his finger, right? He's not going to do it a second time. China's not going to do it a second time around. If that's true, then what, right? Think about it. If we can't bring down interest rates because they're already so darn low, if we can't borrow more because the debt and the deficit are already kind of maxed out, and if China comes in and says, look, you guys started a trade war with us, therefore we're not going to bail you out this time around, then what? We're getting ahead of this story because sometimes you got to look ahead, especially when the consequences can be so dire. This is the news with Rick Sanchez, where we believe it's time to do news again.
So there you go, man. Sedition among men. Here we go. This is 2nd Ezra's chapter 4, verse starting at 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Well, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. And if you didn't think they were faithful and true at first, now you know they are faithful and true, because it's coming to pass. For not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. And incredulity means not belief. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And you saw that throughout that video, man. All these protests going on around the globe. And I did a video yesterday pointing out all these protests going on around the globe. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness. Whose wickedness? Esau, Edom's wickedness, which they profanely commit, and neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. And that's those Israelites that already passed into the spirit world. Yeah, even the wicked Israelites that passed, whether they be innocent or not, we already know that they weren't innocent. They've been judged for one reason or another. However, we are still the righteous. We are still more righteous than the wicked. And they in their right mind while they're in the spirit world, and now they're complaining to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai about all the wickedness these devils put us through. And therefore, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. And of course, we know that's talking about America, pursuant to Revelations 11 and 8, the place that's spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. So that Egypt is talking about the Egypt we're currently in, which is known as America. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. And we know what happened with Egypt before, man. The Lord smitten them with so many plagues that they willingly let us take all their riches and get out of there. They kicked us out and let us take all of their riches, and will destroy all of the land thereof, because America is going to be destroyed. Well, you hear that every week when the brothers come out. The destruction of America is coming soon. And who's doing it? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearsome constellation. And we witnessed this. We already been witnessing this in Grand Rapids, Michigan, because I go to the farmers market with one of the other brothers often, and they always tell us how bad their crops are because of the weather, how their animals are dying, like their cows are dying because the weather keeps fluctuating from cold to hot, and then a blizzard will come out of nowhere, and then it'll be warm the next week. So, you know, all of this is already happening up here, and it's going to get worse. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Why? Because destruction is coming. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, is close at hand. One people shall stand up, and fight against another, and swords in their hands. That's what all those riots is about. That's one people standing up against another with swords in their hand. For there shall be a sedition among men. There it is, sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor their princes. In the course of their actions they'll stand in their power. All those riots, sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard their kings or princes, and they're not. And that's coming to America very soon. As you heard Rick Sanchez say, hey, China ain't bailing out America a second time. So this time you got to eat that up. That means all those riots and stuff that's happening overseas is going to happen here. Why? Because there's going to be no money. With no money, that means no food. And with no food, people are going to lose their minds. that's coming, and that's a great time. Not to mention, the famine of the word is coming. How do we know that? Because I'm gonna show y'all, you Akim wa Akwath that's listening. Behold, the days shall come, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but hearing the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Why do I say that? Let's click on this, and I'll show you. And there's nothing wrong with this website. However, this keeps coming up. This didn't start but a couple of days ago. And I don't know how many Akim have seen this screen, or if this screen has been popping up, but you know, this just started. It never happened before, except for a couple of days ago on one of my videos. I also showed it. So you restore the tab, and guess what? You click on that, and what's going to happen? It's going to go right back to that crash page. However, I have no problem for the moment going to certain other pages, letting me know that it must just be that. Let's go back to it. This is still that same page. So this is for those who don't think that internet shutdown is coming. They're already controlling what you watch. How? Because they shut down certain videos that have certain words in it, talking about his hate speech or what have you. Yet when true hate speech of the Bible comes, oh, that's okay for people to watch, but not the truth of the scriptures. That's not okay. Mind you, they're actually trying to get rid of the Bible. But that famine of the word is coming, man. It's coming real soon. Just like all this sedition among men. It's coming to an America near you. And hey, and that's great for us to hear. You know, some brothers and sisters may think that it's doom and gloom. No, this is not doom and gloom. This is what we're waiting for. This is what we're patiently waiting for the Lord's return. Because this must happen before the Lord comes. And there was another thing that I heard from Rick Sanchez's publication from RT. You see. Okay. Let's see if I can find it. Uh-oh. That's probably why. There we go. This is John 10:10. The thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life. Who is the they? The Israelites. And that they might have it more abundantly. So why did I read that? Let's go back to this publication and go about 18 minutes in. There we go. Trump announces to take control of Syria's airfields, and watch what they say.
Unacceptable in today's world.
That's a strong word, theft.
Now,
Let me rewind it a bit.
We're just going to take it. We're the U.S. We can do it. We're the big dog.
This is basically appealing to the neocons, and because we can do it, we have the power. Who's going to kick us out? Nobody right now is going to do it. That's why the power is so important, and that's why people like Assad, people like the Russia and others should be clamoring before the United Nations Security Council about this because of this kind of a precedent. It's a terrible precedent, and the U.S. in a country where it was never invited, taking over possession of a resource which does not belong to them. It's theft, and this is unacceptable in today's world.
That's a strong word, theft.
Yeah, it is a strong word. We always call Esau, Edom, you so-called white people, the thief, man. And it's just fully coming out with Trump. Trump don't care. He's just basically saying, yeah, he's a thief. All you Edomites are thieves. But he's coming out with it like he don't care if you know or not.
And you have to consider that Syria is actually a sovereign foreign nation. So let's take a listen to how he made that announcement.
We are leaving soldiers to secure the oil. Now, we may have to fight for the oil. That's okay. Maybe somebody else wants the oil, in which case they have a hell of a fight. But there's massive amounts of oil, and we're securing it for a couple of reasons. Number one, it stops ISIS, because ISIS got tremendous wealth from that oil. We have taken it. It's secured.
It's amazing to hear a U.S.
Just straight up saying, we're taking it. It's secured. You know? Trump don't give a damn. And then there's a clip, well, matter of fact, I'll fast forward to the clip, because I could just let this play. You brothers can watch the whole thing, but just to let it play, you know, it's about 5 minutes of dialogue. But yeah, because even Assad was like, hey, it's good to have a transparent foe, you know. You know who your enemies are. Because Esau, he's good at lying. His power came from deceit, from the deceit of the world. But now Trump, with him, he can't lie good. So he's just telling you straight that they're the thief, man.
A purpose of those forces, working with the SDF, is to deny access to those oil fields by ISIS and others.
So it's interesting because ISIS and others would seem to include the Syrian government, who under international law, that's actually their oil fields, right? And the Russian Foreign Ministry says that the U.S. is already smuggling crude oil worth $30 million every single month from the occupied Syrian oil fields. And when they announced that, they said, hey, why is the U.S. repeatedly claiming to uphold these democratic values and the rule of international law at the same time that they're pumping oil, because this is, you know, Syria's natural resources. But let's take a look at the Syrian reaction, because this is actually possibly the most interesting part.
I mean, Esau, the thief. All of the what did Yahweh Bashim Yahushua say? How is the things of Esau searched out? How is his hidden things sought up? He's being exposed, and even other Edomites is exposing that wickedness. What is it? I believe it's also in John where it says, what if Satan be divided against Satan, then his kingdom shall fall. Satan is divided against Satan, whether it's Edomites in America or the Edomites on the other side of the world. Edomites are against each other, so their kingdom is falling, and that's a prophecy.
President Bashar al-Assad, he said that he thinks that President Trump is actually the best U.S. president so far. Here's exactly what he said. He said he's the best American president, not because his policies are good, but because he is the most transparent president. What could be better than a transparent foe?
And that's just true, man. You Edomites are exposed, and you're transparent. To the men of the Lord, you're very transparent. To these Christians, hey, they haven't got the memo yet. But as they keep coming against the men of the Lord, the Israelites out there prophesying the downfall of America, hey, they starting to see it. And the ones that don't see it, hey, what did Yahushua say? Those that would not have him rule over them, bring before him and slay. So guess what? They're going to be killed, man, in this destruction that's coming. And that's going to be it for this video. All praise and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. Yagadah, Alahayim, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Shalom.